At the start of every class, Dan asks a student to write the date on the mini whiteboard to use during their beginning of class routine, and leads the class in a warm-up activity that covers a topic from the previous lesson. In this warm-up activity, learners are using the smartboard to match family words such as mother, uncle, and parents with their corresponding pronouns. As students arrive for class, they join in the warm-up.
Let's go the other way, but let's think about the words. So these are all he, right? Yeah. And he means, we talked about the other day, he means male. Yeah, male. She is woman or female. And then some of these may be male, maybe female, right? Cousin, parent, friend, family. So let's pass the pen again, but we're going to put them back in. But when you put it back in, I want you to say a sentence. The sentence is going to start with he, or she, or maybe they. So just pick one, anyone. I'm going to say, he is an uncle, right? So he is an uncle.
He is man.
Yep. He is a man. Okay. Yeah, he is a man. Okay, good.
They is coaching.
Okay, so if you want they, we're going to say they are. They are.
They are
Cousins. Okay, yeah.
She is girl.
All right, good job, everybody. Okay. I teach a beginning ESL class 2 nights a week, so it's a total of 6 hours per week. And the class has students of varying literacy levels, varying educational backgrounds, and many different countries. Okay, well, let's take a look at our plan for today. So first of all, what is the date today? Thank you for writing that. What is the date today?
Today is
February 2, 15, 2018. Okay, what's this 2? Oh, for a month. So we have February 2. So maybe we don't need this one because we've already have the month here. But you're right. This is the same. February. Yeah. So February 15, 2018. Okay. It's important to have strong routines, and one routine that I'm sure to stick to each class is reading our agenda. I tend to do this after our warm-up activity when most of the class has finally gotten there, and we get a preview of what's to come, and the agenda items can be tied into our learning objectives, so our I can statements that we often do at the end of class. And then as we transition from one activity to the next, sometimes we'll review the agenda and see what we've done, what's coming next, and then do a little bit of self-evaluation. And I think this reflection gives students a chance to think about what's coming to them easily and what is not so easy. And the agenda itself also makes clear that we aren't just here learning English generically, but we're doing various tasks to reach that goal. And some tasks are harder than others, but students can look around and they can see, all right, this one's easy for me, this one's hard for me, but I'm not the only one. First, we review family members. Male and female. Next, we talk about a family picture. Next, we practice ing verbs. What is ing? What is the sound? The sound of ing? Can you say that? Ing. Yes, we're going to practice ing verbs. Verbs, okay.
Then
we write what our classmates are doing.
last
We answer questions and show evidence. Show evidence, okay. What did we finish already? We review, okay, yeah. We review family members. So that one, okay. How do you feel? Easy? Okay. Okay, good. So next we're going to talk about picturing. I believe that beginning students still can work on those higher thinking skills and give them opportunities to really think, and particularly in doing some inferencing. A lot of times our students will read the text and they'll look for the answer and find the answer verbatim in the text. But it takes a little thinking to write questions and give them opportunities to go a little deeper and sort of read between the lines in the text.
When working with beginning level learners, it's important to remember that pictures and images can serve as a reading text. Strong readers use their critical thinking skills as well as academic skills such as inferencing and citing evidence when they analyze photos and graphics, and images can help learners to develop these skills even if they have very low literacy levels. As the students move through the following activities, notice how Dan allows them to come to their own conclusions about how they interpret the evidence in the picture.
What is this place?
Look like the office.
It's an office?
House.
House? A house, okay.
She's the house, yeah.
Looks like a house, okay. I heard somebody say maybe classroom. Why do you say classroom? Because you saw paper, okay. Like this one?
Yeah.
Okay. That's why you thought it was a classroom. Okay, that makes sense. Let's look at a family house. I heard someone say family. Yeah, who is this?
Who is son?
You think it's a son? A son, okay.
No, it's playing the music.
Playing the music.
Music, yeah.
He's playing the music. What else is he doing?
Music.
Yeah, you said he's
Yeah, it's
Playing dance.
He's dancing?
Dancing.
Okay, he's playing music, he's dancing.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
Is he sleeping?
No, it's not.
He's not sleeping. Oh, but there's his bed. So where is he?
It's in the house.
The home.
In the home?
In the home.
Okay. In his room.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Playing the
She is
homework.
sister.
Homework.
She is sister.
Oh, maybe. So you're talking this one and this one.
Yeah.
So what is their relationship? So he is
Yeah.
Brother.
brother? Oh, okay. And
Sister.
sister. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
In mother.
Kitchen.
Yeah.
Somebody's
Grandfather
cooking?
and grandmother.
Yeah?
And she
What'd you say, Irina?
answered the phone.
Grandfather?
Yeah.
Okay. Father? Father?
No, sometimes
Grandfather.
Grandfather?
I think the husband for that.
Oh, it could be husband,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I think.
Mother. My
No,
mother.
she's wife. I think.
wife,
Yeah.
mother.
Mother.
Okay, all of these.
Cool.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
she's at home.
She's at home?
working. Yeah.
Okay.
The man is already eating.
He's eating? Yeah. It looks like he's eating. With your partner, we're looking at your book, I'm going to say, and I want you to listen and point.
Okay.
He's the father.
Father. He's the father.
He's the father.
Father.
Yes.
Point. He's the father.
Father.
Where?
So, yes.
She's the mother. Where? Okay. She's the mother. We've got some different ideas. Okay. Okay, let's try this. She's the grandmother.
She's the grandmother.
She's the grandmother.
Son.
He's the son.
He is the son.
He is the son.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could say more about the family relationships. Some of the other words we talked about. We had son, but somebody else said earlier it could be brother. So let's try an activity here. I'm going to point to two, and you tell me their relationship. Okay, I point, you say. So one partner point this one and this one. The other partner say which they are. Okay?
For beginning level ESL learners, vocabulary development is critical. As you can see during this section of the video, Dan provides the learners in his class with numerous opportunities to practice identifying, listening to, and speaking about vocabulary from the text while gradually increasing the rigor of the activities.
What about this one
This
and this one?
grandmother, they want
father,
son. Yes.
father, son. No,
Yeah, they
father.
want their father.
That's right, father, daughter.
I would like you to use this picture to answer some questions. And again, we'll have you work with your partner. And we're going to use this picture and answer some questions. And then when we finish, I want you to show me your evidence, where you got those answers. My students are starting to understand some of the academic terms that we use when we're working on CCRS. I'm having success with the word evidence. Students know what I mean by this, and at least at this point, and they know my routines. And evidence is a strange word that they don't hear in many other contexts, so I think it sticks. So let's look at the number one. So, number one.
Who likes music?
Who likes music? Okay. The sun, right? You said the sun. How do you know?
Because we see the picture for playing, he's playing music. Yes.
How do you know? Because
Yeah, he's liking music. Because
Yeah.
he's playing the music.
because he's playing music,
Yeah.
because
Yeah, he's dancing.
he's dancing, because I see
Yeah.
Stories.
Yeah.
discs. I see
He's happy for joking.
phones. I see radio. Yeah.
Radio over there.
Yeah. So tell me, how do you know? How do you know it's that time? How do you know?
Because of the time, like night time.
Looks like nighttime.
Yeah.
How do you know?
They need to eat
bed.
something and then to
Bed.
go to bed.
And go to bed.
Yeah, they look like that.
Okay.
That's why basically she go to the school.
Yeah.
Ah, so you're going to the school.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other evidence in here that shows you what time it is?
Another here.
Yeah.
Also, this look like midnight also.
When students are discussing text-dependent questions, and especially when we're working in partners and small groups, I try my best to just stay back and let them negotiate their answers. My main intervention when they ask questions is just to simply ask them to show me where they got their answer. So, oh, that's your answer? How do you know? Show me where you found that. And even if they don't have the correct answer exactly, as long as they're going back and they're finding something to back it up with, they are doing CCRS. And sometimes when we get to the point when we debrief on our answers together, well, we might find a variety of answers, and that gives us a chance to talk about which one is the best answer and which one has the best evidence. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, what do you say? Interesting, yeah. What do you think, Fortune? Can you read this? What does it say?
What seems to be weird time? I don't know what it is. Yeah.
No,
What day is it?
PM.
Okay, so this one, what do you think?
PM.
What is it?
No,
What day is it?
AM.
What day?
No, PM.
What do you think? AM or PM?
Take a look. What can you see? I'll tell you what the date, what day it is.
You think PM?
This morning. Morning.
Oh,
AM.
oh, AM? Okay, then write AM. If you think AM, then write AM.
This one TV.
Okay.
TV. This one
What time?
morning. Night.
This is what day?
Okay,
Yes, I don't know.
well, this one?
What day is
What do you, no, this is all together. Is it AM or PM?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
AM.
Well, I don't know in the picture.
Okay.
What day do you think in the picture?
This one, I don't know this.
They did?
What day? Look in the picture. What day is it?
Irina and Sergey. Question number 2. Who is a student? Who is a student? The daughter sister. The daughter sister is a student? Okay. How do you know? Okay. She's reading a book. She's got a pencil. She's writing. Okay. Okay, question number 4. This is going to be one for us to discuss. Can you guys tell me? Question number 4. Is it AM or PM?
AM.
These guys, tell me.
A.
AM? AM. How do you know it's AM? Tell me. How do you know it's AM? What is your evidence? And let me say, we don't know what's correct, but I want to see what your evidence is. Ah. Okay. So Carlos and Carle said that it's AM because maybe sun? Maybe sun? Light? What do you say?
Father sleep.
You think it's PM because father's asleep?
Morning, go to school, go to work. Они все in house.
They're all in the house. So maybe it's PM. Okay. Anybody have any other ideas about that?
Tonight.
Any other ideas? You think it's AM or PM?
AM.
This man, I think, the one who's tired, he's come very late, I think.
So he finished work. Citing evidence at the beginning level might look a little different, but we often ask our students to answer comprehension questions anyway. We're just asking them to show us where they found their answers. We're taking that extra step. And in a lot of cases, we can use the same questions we always used, but just adding that step of having them show it where the evidence came from. I don't think it took too long for students to understand what I was going for. A couple of weeks of asking them to show me where they got their answers and using different evidence citation strategies. They're starting to get what I was going for. And in a lot of cases, they were doing it already themselves. In their minds, they were going back to the text and trying to find the answers. This is just adding that extra step of showing me where they got their answers. Next question. What do you think, Sada and Kema? What day is it? Any idea what day it might be?
Saturday.
Sada and Kema, what do you think? Maybe Saturday?
Sunday.
Okay. So what makes you think it's Saturday or Sunday? Home. Everybody's home? So Kema says maybe it's Saturday because everybody's home.
Yeah, Saturday.
Sounds good. What's that?
Lamp light.
Oh, this is your evening evidence again. Maybe evening, the lamp. What about grandma? Oh, it looks like morning wake-up TV? In the morning. Yeah, it looks like she's drinking coffee or something too. Maybe. Tells me maybe it's morning. Okay, one more thing. I say, you point. Okay? One more time. I say, you point. Okay. She's reading. She's reading. She's reading. Okay. Okay, next. She's watching TV. She's watching TV. Okay. He's eating a sandwich.
Father.
Point. Please listen. Point. Okay, grandfather. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, she's drinking coffee. Okay. Okay. He's listening to music. Son. Son. Okay.
In this next activity, the learners participate in a version of a total physical response or TPR activity. The students practice using the targeted grammatical structures of pronouns and the present continuous tense as they ask and answer questions about daily activities.
Everybody has an action, right? So we're going to play a little game. I want you to think about your action. Think about how you can do it with your body. How you can show this action with your body, right? And we're going to practice this model. We're going to practice the sentence, what are you doing? I am. Okay, everybody different. But try to get an action with it too. So for example, I am washing the dishes. I am washing the dishes. Okay. Okay? What are you doing?
I am sleeping.
Okay, good, good. Action. Okay. What are you doing?
I am reading a book.
Okay. Now, can you remember? What is he doing? Okay. Okay, so what we're going to change this. Before we had I am. I am. He said. But if we're going to talk about Carlos, are we going to say I? He. Okay. So
He is sleeping.
he is sleeping.
Okay, right.
So tell me, what are you doing, Jose? No. Sorry. What are you doing?
I am reading a book.
Give me an action too. Okay.
Reading a book.
And
He is sleeping.
all right, good.
Is eating.
Okay.
She is driving. She is taking her shower. He is reading. And he is sleeping.
She is
Eating.
eating. He is reading a book. He is sleeping.
Ooh. Okay, you guys.
Last one.
Yeah.
Last one.
Do you think Vladimir can get all of them?
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. What are you doing, Vladimir?
I am eating.
Oh, what are you
What's the
eating?
monkey?
Are you eating some? Are you eating a sandwich?
Yes.
A sandwich? Okay. Okay.
She is.
Let's see if you can do it. Okay.
Look. Television.
Okay.
Hey, let me walk.
She is drink coffee.
Okay. Drinking. Vladimir, drinking coffee.
She is cooking.
Uh-huh.
She is sleeping. She is driving. She is. She is sit eating. Eating. He is reading books. He is many sleeping.
Wow. Vladimir. Woo. Good job.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Balancing a CCRS instruction and the other students' needs is exactly that. It's a balancing act. I think it's a question that I'll be trying to figure out as long as CCRS is around. We have limited time together. In my case, 6 hours per week maximum. And we have our content that we want to cover. But I still plan my lessons around the same core thematic units, but now I'm looking for places to add practice on these skills on CCRS within those ESL content areas. So, given the limited time, I imagine some things are being left behind to make room for the skills instruction. So we're not hitting as many life skills content areas, but maybe we're going deeper on the ones we do cover. I'm still experimenting with incorporating CCRS and trying to fit it into my regular units. I'm taking the familiar materials that weren't designed with CCRS in mind, and I'm looking for opportunities for things like evidence citation. And I'm mostly focusing on the reading strand right now. Got to start somewhere. Standards 1 and 2, which are about general understandings and key details. And today we happen to be focusing on grammar, pronouns, and present continuous. So we're hitting some language standards as well. Let's see. What is Natalia doing? Let's see.
Dalia. Yeah,
Watching TV.
Watching TV.
Yes. You say she is
Watching TV.
watching everything in. She is watching a movie. Right. Let me see if I can remember. Oh. What is Sarah doing?
Drink.
Drink coffee.
She is drinking coffee. She is drinking a coffee. Sarah. Okay, before we go to break, let's see. What did we just do? How about this one? We talked
Talking about
family picture. What do you think? They talk about family picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
Easy.
You feeling good? Feel good? Okay. How about this one? We practice in verbs.
Verb.
How was that? What do you think? All of this one, cooking, talking, walking, easy, so-so. How do you feel? You're in the so-so?
Easy.
You're so-so?
Easy.
Feel easy? Okay. Good. Okay, so after break, we're going to work more with our names and with these actions.
For the next part of the class, Dan has chosen to move away from the textbook. He has the learners work together to create a learner-generated text based on the previous activity. This is the reading text that is used for the remainder of the lesson.
What we're going to do is we're going to do some writing. But we're still going to be using our memory of this activity. So we're going to be using the whiteboards to write some sentences using the ing words about our classmates. So, for example, let's say I'm going to remember, what did Jose do? What is Jose doing? Okay, so I'm going to write a sentence here that says, Jose is reading a book. A book. I'm going to use, in my group, I'm going to try to remember everybody, but not everybody. That's too much. So how about group A and group C? Just work on these ones. Okay? Group A, group A and group C. Write sentences for these ones. Group B and D. Please write for these ones.
Watching TV. Ah, no, Vladimir sí.
Watching TV.
What did Carlos do? Carlos is
Yeah, Vladimir is eating.
Eating.
doing.
Sleep.
She was sleeping.
Sleep. Kema. Sleep. Kema is sleep.
Sleeping.
So now we're going to answer some questions about these texts. So we're going to have some questions. I'm going to have one paper for each group. I want you to answer these questions, and when we finish, you're going to come and show us, tell us your answer and show us your evidence. Where did you find the answer? So let's try one together first. So let's look at number one. Who is at home? Who is at home? Who is at home? Is Abdi at home?
Abdi at home?
No, he's walking. Okay. Who is at home?
Natalia.
Ah, okay. Natalia is watching TV. So I could say, oh, Natalia is at home. Okay, you could say that too. You could say, Sergey is at home. What about Kema? Is Kema at home? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I could say, oh, Kema is at home. How do I know? Because she's sleeping. The texts used in the activities in this lesson, I don't think were particularly complex, but the process of answering the questions and showing evidence is where the real challenge comes. For some students in this class, the student-generated text that we came up with might have been fairly complex on its own, but if we consider the idea that text can take many forms, for example, sure, text is words printed on a page, but we can consider visuals to be a text, as in our earlier activity when we're looking at that house. Spoken words can be text, and even the actions and gestures can be considered the text. And for some students in this mixed level class, the words and the actions were the evidence that they relied upon to answer those text-dependent questions. But in the end, they still needed to point to the printed evidence for our final task tonight.
Yeah, Jose is at home.
Carlo is at home.
Владимир is sure who is in car. А кто тут? Можно там посмотреть тоже. Он car then is driving. Carley is driving. Carley is driving.
Carley is
Carley is driving. Именно здесь тут.
is at in a car.
Carley is driving. A car?
Carley is in a car. Carley is in a car.
Driving
Driving well,
good. Who is outside the house?
After the learners complete the questions in their small groups, Dan brings everyone back together to go over the answers and to practice citing evidence as a whole class. This step provides the learners with the opportunity to defend their answers through the use of text-based evidence.
Read the question. One person read the question. One person read the answer. And one person show us the evidence. It's from here. Okay, group D. Okay. So Sergi is at home. Okay, show us. How do you know? How do you know Sergi's at home? How do you know Sergi's at home?
Sergi? Aquí.
Sergi is watching a movie.
Huh? Okay. Okay. Can you show us your evidence? Okay. All right. All right, good.
Por descarte y por...
Question number 4. Group A.
Who is outside the house?
Okay.
Sada is outside the house.
Okay, show us. Oh, you don't have a job?
Sada is walking.
Oh, she's walking outside the house. Yeah, good. Ooh. All right, good. So what did you think? Okay? Okay? Okay, more questions. So I split up the text-dependent questions in our final activity. I saw this technique in another YouTube video, and a long list of questions can be overwhelming. But I think a small set of questions seems manageable, and students will feel less need to rush through. They can take their time with only 4 questions. And if one group is moving more quickly than the others, we have a chance to break in the middle, stop, check the first set of answers together. as soon as the first group finishes. But also, if a student or a group doesn't quite follow the activity during the first set of questions, especially the part about group roles, they'll have a better chance in the second set of questions. So they see the example, and the second set of questions usually goes more smoothly and more quickly.
No? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who is in bed?
No, Leila is taking a shower.
Okay. Leila is in bed.
No, Carlos is sleeping. Teacher,
Leila, she
bed
take
is
shower. Leila, she take
cama
shower.
is no.
Huh?
Leila, she take
You
shower.
guys show me up there?
Bed is
Bed.
Explain to her. You can tell, yeah. Why did you change your mind?
Yeah. Let me marry you.
What's my?
Let me marry forget.
Don't use your memory. Use the text.
Okay.
Who is in bed?
In bed. This Carlos is here.
Carlos is sleeping. Is in bed.
Sada. Sada is a working.
Is in working. In
Working. Is in. Working.
Working.
in
No,
working.
is working. Sada is working.
Вот так вот, да?
Sada is working.
In no.
In no. Is.
Maybe
is in working.
coming up with text-dependent questions which are challenging and interesting, yet still comprehensible to a beginning learner is hard, and it takes some thinking. I have my go-to questions using WH question words, but simplifying the standards to allow for beginners to work on them requires some imagination and maybe some help. And I have a list of sentence frames that helps me formulate my text-dependent questions, and I go back to this list whenever I need inspiration. This is a text-dependent questions, stems, and frames to reach CCRS reading anchors, levels A and B. This is really a big help for me when I'm looking at a text, and this will give me some inspiration to get started. So I'm still experimenting with how I sequence the questions. I'll do it one way and I'll try another way. Sometimes all the questions will be sort of at the same level of difficulty, but other times I'll group them by type of question. So maybe the first few questions will be who questions, and the second set will either be a bunch of where questions or a mix. Sometimes I'll have the first few questions just be simple yes/no questions, but that still require evidence citation. So there will be less emphasis on writing and more on getting the answer and showing where the evidence is. And then maybe as the questions get more difficult, I'll move on to questions that require a more extended response. Okay, group B, question number 5.
Number 5.
Who is in bed?
Okay.
Who is
Okay.
bed?
Okay, who's answered? Okay, who's answered?
So Sergey, this one, right?
Okay, so Sergey, this one, right?
Okay, question.
Okay, question.
Who is
Again,
in
repeat.
bed?
Okay, now somebody.
Okay, now somebody. Mihu? Mr. Mihu?
Me is.
Carlos is bed.
Okay, can you show us?
Okay,
Show us the
can you
evidence.
show us? Show
How
us
do
the
you know
evidence.
Carlos is in bed?
How do you know Carlos is in bed?
Carlos is
You're pushing yourself.
You're pushing yourself.
Carlos is sleeping. Okay.
Okay.
Group D.
Grupo D. Otro D.
Here last again.
Group D.
Who is in the bathroom?
Leila is showering in the bathroom.
Okay, show me.
Uh-oh.
Arriba.
Arriba. Yeah, this is this one. Leila. Uh-huh.
Shower.
All right, yeah. Got it. Yeah, nice. Leila is taking a shower.
In the final part of the lesson, the learners apply the grammar and vocabulary they have developed during the previous activities in a real-life role-play scenario. This communicative activity allows the learners to see a practical application of the lesson's grammar and to practice using it in an informal conversation setting.
Ready?
Hello.
Hi, this is Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Oh, what are you doing?
I'm shopping.
Oh, sorry. I'll call you later.
Okay, bye.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
My name. My name Fortune.
Hi, Fortune.
What are you doing?
I'm sleeping.
I'm sorry.
Okay, bye. Hello. It is Jose. Hi, name.
Oh, you should probably put his name. Jose. Jose. Hi, Jose.
Hi, Jose. What are you doing? I'm working.
I'm sorry, I call you later.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
What? Hello.
Hi, this is Carlos.
Hi, Carlo.
What are you doing?
I am 18.
Oh, sorry, I'll call you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
All right, good.
At the end of the lesson, Dan revisits the objectives from the class schedule and turns them into I can action statements. This routine brings the class to a close on a positive note and reminds the students of all the hard work that they did throughout the lesson and how much they learned during their time together.
Okay, let's just do a couple of I can statements before we go home and think about how do you feel? You feel easy, so-so, or hard? So let's do the first one. I can name family members. I can name family members. You feel good?
Good.
So-so? Okay. Let's do another one. What was the second one I had? Oh. I can say what I am doing now. I can say what I am doing. Right now, right now. Yeah? Is that okay? You can do that? I am cooking. I am sleeping. You feel good? Easy? So-so? Hard? Easy? What are you doing? I am listening. What are you doing?
Studying English.
Ah, okay. What are you doing? How about I can answer questions. Oops, answer questions about my class. And show evidence. I can answer questions about my class and show evidence. You feel good? Easy?
Good.
Middle? So-so-ish? You're in the so-so area? Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, very good. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. Have a good night. I'll see you next week. All right, good job.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, bye.